Welcome to Week 10 here of the baseball season. Today, it's the 4 versus 8 game. Lakota East and Fairfield next on Chatterbox Live. Along with Patrick Geshin, I'm Geoff Kim. Thanks for joining us here on Chatterbox Live. Should be a hell of a game here this afternoon under ideal conditions in what you either want to call a sectional final or a district semifinal. Either which way you go after it, it's a big-time playoff game with two big-time teams in the GMC. Patrick, good to have you along here as we look at these two teams. As we start off with Fairfield, they came off fresh off of a 1-0 gem by Aaron England a week ago.
Just an absolute gem, Jeff. And when you get to this time of year, you got to find ways to win games that maybe you haven't used before in the regular season. Of course, England's been their guy all year on the mound. He's certainly taken care of business in that department, but just what a great win for Fairfield. You maybe saw their celebration on social media after that game. That win meant so much to this group, and this group is using that momentum. They're charged up and fired up coming into this big-time game here this afternoon into tonight. England
was masterful in that game and pitching a gem. A complete game two-hitter. He struck out 6 in the game, but he only walked 1, which was a big sticking point coming on in. The release point was excellent for him. He only gave up 2 hits, and the last 2 hits, the only 2 hits of the ball game that he gave up came in the 3rd inning. Otherwise, he was very, very hard to touch. On the other side for Lakota East, after getting a first-round bye last Tuesday, the 4-seed Thunderhawks got a run-rule win over the 23-seed Turpin in 6 innings, 10-0. Evan Whitaker, who's going today, was masterful in that one. He went the distance on a 1-hitter, walking 2, striking out 10.
And Ray Hamilton, you asked him before the game, you said, is the rest going to be an issue today for Whitaker? He said, absolutely not. He said he's dialed in, he's ready to go, and Lakota East trusts this guy. They've trusted him all year. He certainly can perform in the moments when they need him to perform, like a game like this. So it's going to be really exciting, Jeff, to see him today and our other pitcher, Kayden Campbell, on the hill for Fairfield. This is going to be a really good pitcher's duel. I'm really excited to see that play out here today.
You just saw Tommy Begley for Fairfield over at home plate along with Ray Hamilton for Lakota East. Tommy's in his 5th year with this program after coming on over from Waynesville, where he had managed for 5 years. He led Waynesville to 3 Southwestern Buckeye League titles and then became an assistant at Fairfield and now has been the skipper for the last 5 years. On the other side, Ray Hamilton, a legend, a Ohio High School Hall of Famer in the coaching ranks. 33rd year, as you just mentioned, 556 and 283 his record. He is literally winning 2 out of every 3 games in his career.
State title winner, head coach. He has put this Lakota East baseball team on the map. Kind of have been a little bit quiet the last few years in terms of where their playoff matchups have taken them and where they've gone in the playoffs in terms of the distance they've been able to travel in certain brackets. But this is another year where Ray Hamilton has a really good team, and he's certainly a guy that knows how to get a good team deep in the playoffs.
And while we're seeing the teams get introduced, maybe this is a good time to get the starting lineups introduced from our side as well.
All right, Jeff, we'll start with the visiting Fairfield Indians. Of course, a neutral site game, but the Indians are the road team this afternoon. Noah Wagster is going to lead it off for Fairfield and play shortstop. Josh Wiseman will bat second at second base. John Rodriguez will play center field and hit third. Connor Rackett is going to be the cleanup hitter at first base for Fairfield. Kemper Murray will play left field batting fifth. Reese Wayhoff will catch, hit sixth. In the 7th spot is Josh Isaacs playing third base. Ashton McCann is in right field hitting 8th, and Brady Black will DH and bat 9th for the Indians. And, of course, Kayden Campbell on the hill. We talked about him. The senior is on the mound to start for Fairfield. Let's go to the home team, the Lakota East Thunderhawks, 17-9 overall, 11-7 in the GMC this year. The 4-seed coming in. Nick Raymond's going to lead it off at shortstop for East. It'll be Colin Sweeney batting second in left field for the Thunderhawks. Braden Fry will play second base and bat third. Jacob Finley cleans up in center field. Sam Penix is the third baseman hitting fifth. Dylan Rick will catch bat sixth. Drew Tower is at first base hitting seventh. Max Vincent will DH and hit eighth. Trent Dilley bats ninth for Lakota East in right field. Evan Whitaker, of course, is on the hill for the Thunderhawks today. And Fairfield, just mentioning Jeff, 16-11 overall, 10-8 in the GMC, left their record out, and they are the 8th seed in the tournament.
We mentioned Evan Whitaker as we were going to the break. 6'4", 175 pounds. He's a senior right-hander, making his 11th appearance, his 9th start. He's completed 2 games. pitching 41 innings, 25 base hits, 23 runs, just 13 of which have been earned, 20 walks, 62 strikeouts, a 2-4 record with a fine 2.22 earned run average. His last time out, we just mentioned, a one-hitter over 6 innings, 2 walks, and 10 strikeouts against Turpin on the 19th. And to reset on the other side, it's the left-hander in Wimmers, Kayden Campbell at 6'2", 180 pounds, a senior, a lefty, making his 7th appearance and his 5th start. As we await to see the teams check in for Fairfield. 19 innings, 10 hits, 8 runs, 6 of which have been earned, 18 walks, and 29 strikeouts, a 4-1 record, and a 2.21 earned run average. Patrick, it goes without saying that today is going to be punctuated by pitching, and more pitching.
And that's why I'm so excited for this game, Geoff. And both coaches, we talked about kind of what's your mentality on today, what was the message to your team. And both of them, when we were chatting, one of the first things they brought up was pitching, how confident they are in their own team's pitching and how challenging the other team's pitching is going to be. So we're really excited to see how this matchup turns out.
The defense for the home team today, Lakota East, Colin Sweeney in left, Jacob Finley in center, Trent Dilley in right. Sam Penix is at third base. Nick Rabin is a shortstop. Braden Fry is at second. Drew Tower mans first. Dylan Rick catches Evan Whitaker. So the top 3 in the lineup come up to the bat for Tommy Begley's ball club. Noah Wagster will lead things off. .319 hitter, has a home run to his credit, and 7 runs batted in. So the last-minute conference here in Kings Mill. As we get started, right-handed batter steps in against a right-handed pitcher, and here we go from Kings Mill. The first pitch is a fastball down below the knees, 1-0. Game time temperature, 75 degrees. We did get started right at 5 o'clock this afternoon. Here's the 1-0 from Whitaker. And it's popped in the air off the right side, foul. And Drew Tower draws a bead. He runs out of room at the fence. And we even up 1-1.
Excuse me, Geoff. Our home plate umpire today is Brian Kretsch, and the base umpires Scott Feld and Jeffrey Hall. Of course, the 3-umpire system used for the playoffs in the OHSAA.
Waxter to be followed by Josh Wiseman and John Rodriguez. By the way, game time temperature powered by Bartell's Heating Cooling. Partner, have you gotten your AC checked yet?
Yes, and it works.
1-1. Fastball rides high.
That would be my mom and dad's AC. That luckily works.
I feel you. Whitaker out of the wind. Here's the 2-1, and we even up. Waxter to be followed by Josh Wiseman and John Rodriguez. Rodriguez is the hottest batter in the lineup, and maybe on both sides as we go into this ball game. 2-2. Fastball, and we go full.
And it's going to be important for Whitaker to settle in here. Obviously, he knows how to handle nerves, but this stage is so much bigger than the last round in any other game maybe he's played in.
Payoff, and we'll do it again. Foul back. Indiana commit is Whitaker. Fastball tops 92 miles an hour. He's got a curve and a slider. Waxter was impressive in his last game, despite going 0 for 1 at the plate. And the fastball got him looking. Waxter thought he had first base, but there's one down.
And I understand that you take that pitch for the first at-bat of the game because you simply don't know what the zone is going to be like yet. But now we know that is where that's going to be called a strike, right on that outside corner. And Waxter just takes a gamble there, but worth it to look at that pitch as the first at-bat of the game.
Josh Wiseman is a .317 hitter. He swings away on the first one, foul back to the screen, 0-1. .317 hitter has driven in 7 this year. And by the way, that's the first time we've seen back-to-back strikes here in this inning. If you notice the pattern, ball, strike, and now another strike. And this one misses the inside corner, and we even up. Well, the success of strikes is a little too good right now for Whitaker, who's struggling right now to find true control. 1-1 the count, and the pitch. took something off that one, caught the corner. So says Brian Kresh, and it is 1-2. Here's the pitch, and this one a high chop off the left side down the third baseline, foul, and we'll do it again. Wiseman to be followed by John Rodriguez. Infield at normal depth. Just getting started here in Kings Mill this afternoon, and the 1-2 got him looking, 2 down.
It's a beautiful curveball there from Whitaker, kind of tied Wiseman up a little bit. Really good start to this inning, obviously, with 2 Ks. But here's John Rodriguez, the toughest out, probably, you could say, in this Fairfield lineup.
.388 hitter this year is Rodriguez. Bats righty, throws lefty, a senior. 19 runs batted in. As he waits the first pitch, fouled back, 0-1. Should he reach, it will be Connor Rackett, the first baseman, batting cleanup today. No score here in Kings Mill so far, and Whitaker deals. The curveball just missing on the inside half. And we even up. Whitaker working quickly, and a line shot in the left field, and that's the game's first base hit. And that's a 12-game hitting streak now for John Rodriguez.
Something over the plate, just drove it into left field, keeps the inning going. And there goes kind of the good start for Whitaker. See if Fairfield can build on it.
John Rodriguez, by the way, we mentioned the hitting streak. He had come in 19 of 33. That's .576. So he's got a lead off first. And the first pitch off the plate, ball 1. Connor Rackett is a .302 hitter, has driven in 16 this year. Slightly open stance. And this one rides high, 2-0. This is the first time we've seen consecutive ball counts here in this frame as we now wait pitch number 17 for Evan Whitaker. Deals the get me over, got him over. 2-1. Rackett to be followed by Kemper Murray. Runner going, and this one's spoiled, and we even up. Deuce. So after 2 balls, the first 2 pitches to Rackett were balls. The next 2 have been strikes, whether spotted or swinging.
And that one looked to me, Jeff, like ball 3 there maybe. Was reaching for that one, trying to hit and run was Rackett.
The deuces are wild. 2-2 the count with 2 out. Whitaker delivers. This one checked, and a good call and a good bit of patience by Rackett as he looked at that one outside. We go full. This will be at least a 20-pitch first inning for Evan Whitaker. And that 20th pitch is coming up. Runner going again, spoiled away. We'll have to do it again. Rackett, by the way, drove in the only run of the game last Thursday, 1 for 2. He did that in the first inning against St. X. And that was a game that had a little bit of controversy to it because the steal of second by Wagster was disputed for a hot second. He turned into safe, and then he was eventually driven in by Rackett. We do it again. 1-0 in that game. So imagine plating a first run, pushing it across in the first inning, and that's all you get for either team the rest of the way.
That's baseball. That's playoff baseball, too.
Eight pitch at bat here for Connor Rackett, and Whitaker deals runner. Going again, got him. Inning over. The side's retired on strikes, and we go to the bottom of the first It is Fairfield nothing and Lakota East coming to bat here on Chatterbox Live. To the bottom of the first inning we go. No score here in Kings Mill. Along with Patrick Geshen, I'm Geoff Kim. Thanks for joining us here on Chatterbox Live. Justin Thomas is our esteemed producer this afternoon for this playoff game.
Esteemed. He's esteemed.
Well, you and I do dirty work, so by nature we cannot be esteemed.
Okay. Justin's the most esteemed out of three here. I wasn't saying I'm esteemed. He's the esteemed guy here.
As we get some a look at today's starting pitcher, Kayden Campbell, getting some warm-up tosses, and the book on him, 4-pitch mix. Fastball tops at 90 miles an hour. One of the things that we had talked about with pitching coach Andrew Gunther today is it's a feel for Kayden Campbell. He'll go with the hot pitch.
And that was one of the most interesting things to me that he said to us. He said last time out against East, it was kind of, fastball was working well, changeup was going well for him, and then, of course, when it comes to slider, curveball that he can also throw in, it just depends on what is working for him that day. Usually it's the fastball that's going pretty well, but out of the other three, slider, changeup, curveball, it's kind of the one that he feels is best and that he thinks is best for the day and that he feels the best in terms of when he's throwing it. So we will see what that is going to be here. Maybe we'll tell in the first inning, but probably second or third inning by that time we're going to know, Jeff.
Last time he faced Lakota East, he got the win in that ball game. Campbell gave up a run over 5 innings. He struck out 9 in that contest. And that was back on April 22nd. A lot has changed, obviously, in a month as both teams playing for their playoff lives right here.
Yep.
Nick Rabin is the leadoff hitter, stepping in. And the first pitch to him, fastball rides high for ball 1. Rabin, Colin Sweeney, and Braden Fry, the 3 coming on up here in this home half. And the fastball again riding high, 2-0. Rabin's a 193 hitter this year. He has driven in 11 runs. 2-0. And it caught the corner on the inside black. Nice pitch, 2-1. Big swing and a miss, deuce. So right now, Kayden Campbell is starting fastball, and why not? If you're a lefty and lanky as he is, and he can whip it up there, 2-2, and this one popped up sky high in foul territory off the first baseline. The first baseman, Connor Rackett, draws the first out. The defense is Kemper Murray in left, John Rodriguez in center, Ashton McCann in right, the infield of Josh Isaacs at third base, Noah Wagster the shortstop, Josh Wiseman at second, Connor Rackett the first baseman who just recorded the last out, Reese Wayhoff catches Kayden Campbell. Colin Sweeney checks in. League leader in doubles and RBI this year as he lines the first one in the left field, but promptly caught by Kemper Murray. 1 pitch, 1 out. We'll have to talk a little bit more about Sweeney as we progress through the game because he has been impressive swinging the stick this year. Braden Fry will check in with 2 down. And unlike what we saw from Whitaker in the top of the frame, where he threw 22 pitches, right now we've seen some conservation early on by Campbell. And the first pitch offering to Fry is a called strike, 0-1. Campbell deals, swing and a miss, and just like that, Braden Fry's in the hole, 0-2. Fry, a really outstanding hitter this year, 352 hitter, has driven in 19. The next offering, swing and a miss. Good morning, good afternoon, good night, inning over. We head to the second, no score here in Kings Mill on Chatterbox Live. No score here in Kings Mill. So far, a good start for both teams as far as mountain opponents are concerned. Evan Whitaker going on for his second inning of work, and we just saw a very nice pitch. First inning by Kayden Campbell, retiring the side on 9 pitches.
Really good start, Jeff, for both guys of the mound. We expected, of course, talking about this matchup in our pregame, that this is going to probably be a pitcher's duel. We were thinking it's probably going to be, a 3-2 game is what we kind of concluded when we put our heads together. Of course, it might turn out to be a 10-6 quarter game, but it's kind of what we expected coming in. 2 good pitchers and, of course, 2 good starts for both pitchers.
Well, hard to imagine, right? Because you have an Indiana pitcher or an Indiana commit on the hill right now ready to start his second inning. And the other side, you have a pitcher committed to Louisville. You have 2 big-time Division I programs, and those are the pitchers starting off today's ball game.
Impressive.
Kemper Murray with an open stance, waits, swing, and foul tipped into the glove of Dylan Rick. It's 0-1. Murray to be followed by Reese Wayhoff and Josh Isaacs. Strike one offering, curve, a bit downstairs, maybe a bit inside as well, and we even up. Kemper Murray is a .348 hitter. He's driven in 8 runs this year. And he deals right over the heart of the plate, 1-2. Whitaker is working very quickly, trying to set down the order like he did the last time. Swing and a miss, and that's the 4th strikeout here in this ball game for Evan Whitaker.
Next batter, number 8, the catcher, Reese Wayhoff.
So far for Whitaker, a strikeout looking of Waxter, a strikeout looking of Wiseman, a strikeout looking of Rackett, a strikeout swinging for Murray, and this one a ground ball to the shortstop. Nick Rabin will throw him out. So 2 quick outs after Whitaker needed 22 pitches to get through the first inning. Right now he's gotten an economy going, retiring the first 2 here in this frame on just 5 throws. As he goes to work on Josh Isaacs, checks his swing on a pitch up, 1-0. Isaacs waits. Foul back, we even up. Josh Isaacs, .246 hitter, has driven in 23, has homered a couple of times, leading home run hitter on this team, as he takes downstairs a breaking ball, and it's 2-1. Had a ringing double in that game last Thursday, and we're going to call it that game because it was a true instant classic. And this one caught the corner, and we even up. Partner, if you heard me openly lobby, and I'm thankful to Reed Mouse for making it so, an instant classic on the Chatterbox Plus platform. Here's a ground ball cut off by Rabin. He throws on the first, in the dirt and dugout and out.
Great pick.
Nice pick by the first baseman, Drew Tower, and we head to the home half of the second. No score here in Kings Mill on Chatterbox Live. To the home second we go. No score here in Kings Mill, and the start of maybe perhaps another dandy here on the platform. In the early game, the matinee of our Chatterbox doubleheader, Mason was masterful on the hill as well, winning 6-0. It was 4 1/3 innings of shutout ball by Noah Samwell, who is really taken over the landscape and become a legit ace here in Southwest Ohio.
Yep, and that Hamilton team, maybe not as strong as they've been in previous years, but that's still not an easy lineup necessarily to take care of. I mean, that's a really respectable win by Mason, and by that much for a Hamilton team that knew they were probably up against some really good competition today. I'm sure they brought their best stuff, and so Mason with that big win over the Big Blue.
What was notable in that game is we did see 2 shutout frames by each side in that contest, and the first run of the game, as the first pitch goes downstairs, down and away to Jacob Finley, 1-0. The first run of that game, the deciding run, came in on fielder's interference. Go figure. Called strike, we even up. And that's a hard way to lose. Now, mind you, there were subsequent runs that did cross. But that's your deciding run on fielder's interference.
Yep.
1-1. Fastball downstairs. 2-1 the count to Jacob Finley, to be followed by Sam Penix and Dylan Rick. Swing, got a piece of it back into the catcher's mitt, 2-2.
That's why we love to be here, Geoff, doing this tournament, doing these games. You just never know what's going to happen, right?
Absolutely.
You can try to predict, but you just simply don't know.
Finley's a .403 hitter this year, has driven in 12 as he awaits. Breaking ball, got a piece, will do it again. Has hit 5 doubles this year, is slugging .478, getting on base 52.5% of the time. That's what you really want out of a guy who's been primarily your 3-hole hitter, but he's batting cleanup today. 2-2. Down and away we go full. So we see a similar pattern to start this inning like we saw Evan Whitaker back in the top of the first. Ball strike, ball strike. And the payoff here in the home half of the second is a line shot right up the middle. Jacob Finley has a base hit.
Well, we knew he could do some damage. Fourth of the GMC and average at .403. We talked about his offensive ability, and so this is a big hit to come to lead off the inning, Geoff, because now you can play with his base runner a little bit. And every base runner in this game is going to be very critical, especially early.
Sam Penix steps in. Bit of a firebrand, by the way. And the first pitch down below the knees for ball one. A little bit of a firebrand because if you go back to April the 20th over at Lakota East between these two teams, do you know what happened?
I do not. You remind me. We talked about this.
1-0, and we'll wait for this next pitch. Penix with 7 steals on first. Fastball rides high. So he got thrown out of that ball game by umpire Anthony Hilly. It was in the first inning. Penix was arguing balls and strikes. Arguing typically won't get you thrown out. It's what you say while arguing that will. 2-0 pitch, and the fastball got over 2-1. Inside corner, and right now, Kayden Campbell is painting when he's getting strikes. Trying to get a feel, and again, we talked to Andrew Gunther. He is a feel pitcher. He's looking for something. And here's the 2-1, and fouled away just past the first base dugout, deuce. Sam is a .356 hitter, has driven in 13, has 3 doubles and a triple to his tally this year. 2-2 the count to the third baseman. Swing and a miss on the slow stuff. 1 down here in the second.
Beautiful off speed. And that's one of the first really good off speed pitches we've seen Campbell throw today that can make an impact. And there you go right there.
So Dylan Rick, sophomore, bats right. Checks in. Dylan's a .259 hitter, and we've got a conference out on the hill. A quick conference. We do see Andrew Gunther out there. If this had been a pull, we probably would have seen the head coach. Instead, we see the pitching coach. We did see a trainer come out, and so it might not be an official mound visit.
Maybe just something was noticed in the dugout about Campbell that was abnormal, and just simple good check. And the umpire did tell us, home plate umpire in Brian Kretsch, it does not count as a mound visit.
.259 hitter is Rick. With 11 runs batted in, the throw over to first, and a head-first slide there by Jacob Finley. As we mentioned, Jacob's got 7 steals this year. Infield looking for 2, but they're not looking for the bunt here in this situation. That one break a little bit late, missed the plate. Finley a little bit more of a lead off of first now. And again, the infield looking for 2. The pitch rides high. 2-0. So unlike what we saw in the first inning where there was an economy of pitches, Campbell got out of the frame in 9 pitches. Right now, he's about ready to throw pitch number 24 of this ball game. The pitch. Oh, nice curve. 2-plane break. 2-1. Well, that's the reason why he's going to Louisville.
No other words needed.
Broke over the inside half of the plate. 2-1 the count. And this one rides high. 3-1. Rick to be fouled by Drew Tower. Here in Kings Mill this afternoon, no score. Again, the check up first, and now the deal plate word by Kayden Campbell is fouled. Away we go full. Second full count we've seen here in this inning for Kayden Campbell. Josh Isaacs at third, even with the bag, and a line shot to the opposite field. On the run is the right fielder Ashton McCann towards the line for the second out. Runner stays put, 2 down. So Dylan a little bit late on the pitch and put a little too much air under it and going the opposite way. And we're trying to see if young Mr. Campbell can wriggle out of, I wouldn't call this a jam here in the second inning, but it is a situation where he is pitching a little bit more tenuously out of the stretch.
Yep.
Here's Drew Tower, the 7th place hitter. Fastball inside. It gets away from the catcher, and the runner will advance. So I don't know if you call that a wild pitch or a pass ball. I didn't see Wayhoff get a real good piece of it as it got past him, and I call that a wild pitch, and the runner goes to second.
Looked like it's just very inside Drew Tower, and Wayhoff maybe just had a little bit of trouble trying to find it, and that is what resulted in the ball going behind him.
Well, it's miraculous that no one got jabbed by it either. The
Yeah.
batter got missed, the catcher got missed, the umpire got missed, and a breaking ball. Nice pitch, 1-1. The long look in. Tower's a .316 hitter this year, has driven in 8, has homered this year as well. There's a called strike, 1-2. Good power threat. We met his mom, Michelle, prior to the ball game, or as she is called by the team, Mama Tao. One and 2 to Tower. Here it comes. Swing and a miss. And that is the side. A hitter runner left, and we go to the third inning. No score here in Kings Mill on Chatterbox Live. No score here in Kings Mill. Right now a dandy between 2 pitchers, Evan Whitaker and Kayden Campbell. And to take you through the next 3 innings, Oxford's own Patrick Geshin.
Thank you very much, Geoff Kim. So glad you're with us here this afternoon on Chatterbox Sports on what is a gorgeous Tuesday afternoon, turn to evening here in Kings Mills, Ohio. Patrick Geshin, Geoff Kim, Justin Thomas, our wonderful producer with us, our esteemed producer with us this afternoon at Kings Mills, where it's a gorgeous 75 degrees and fair. So we're going to see the 8, 9, and 1 hitters bat for Fairfield here in this top half of the third inning. That'll be Ashton McCann, Brady Black, and then back to the top of the order, and Noah Wagster. McCann, the right fielder, steps in to face the righty Whitaker. And the opening pitch of this third inning is a sharp ground ball. That'll be a foul on the third base side. Make the count 0-1. Good way to start the at-bat out for McCann, just left there of the foul line. So McCann this season is batting .323 on the year, driven in 3 runs. 10 hits on the season. 0-1 deal from Whitaker. He's going to miss down and in. Make it 1 ball and 1 strike. Very good crowd on hand today at Kings High School. 1-1 deal on the way. Let's right down Broadway to make it 1-2. The take by McCann. Such a good crowd that the real estate for lawn chairs around this place is very valuable, and was so an hour and a half before the game when we were getting here. People were already arriving. Liner right to third base, and there's a catch by Penix. Sam Penix grabs the liner, didn't have to move at all. It was hit right to him. And 1 away as McCann retired. Brings up our 9-hitter and Brady Black for Fairfield.
Partner, if I may throw a wet towel on to what you introduced here in this 3rd inning. We have ideal conditions today. Thursday, when we have districts, not so much. I don't know if you've seen the outlook yet.
I have. It is bleak. Brady Black will take a breaking pitch on the outer half for strike 1. Designated hitter today for the Indians is Brady Black. Junior at 297 on the year with 5 RBI. 0-1 coming his way above his head. It's going to be 1 ball and 1 strike. As the base is empty, 1 away here in this top of inning number 3. District semifinal for district number 2 here in Southwest Ohio. 1-1 deal, misses low, 2 balls and 1 strike to Brady Black.
Whitaker's moving awfully quick, and it's hard to get the story in, but we'll get it to you in a minute.
2-1 deal from the righty. He's going to nail the outside Black, make it 2-2, and Whitaker's found some very good real estate over there on the outside. Let's get a start going.
Thunderstorms are expected on Thursday, by the way.
2-2 deal, swing and a miss. Brady Black well in front of it, and quickly 2 away here in the top of the 3rd. So there's strikeout number 5 on the day for Whitaker. Struck out 5 of the first 9 batters he's seen in this game. We're back to the top of the Fairfield order, and Noah Wagster.
So Thursday, the chance of rain is a robust 88%.
First pitch is high to make it 1-0.
The other days surrounding it, Wednesday, it's 58%, and on a Friday, it's 60%. You have to look to Saturday, where it's below that.
1-0 deal, nailed back to the screen, 1 ball, 1 strike. What are we at Saturday?
23%.
All right.
Which might be doable.
Yeah, not looking good at all. Wednesday, Thursday in the air, expecting a lot of rain both days. This is down and away. Makes it 2 balls and 1 strike to Noah Wagster. Last time these teams saw each other in the postseason wasn't too long ago, back in 2018. East won that game. It was a thriller in the first round, 2-1. The Thunderhawks took it in extras. It's the outside corner here to Wagster. 2 balls and 2 strikes, 2 away with the bases empty in the top of the 3rd inning. Expecting another thriller today, maybe. The 2-2 misses upstairs. The count full to Wagster. It was a pitcher's duel back in 2018, the last time in the postseason for these two, and fairly low-scoring meetings the last 2 times they saw each other in the regular season this year. In the air to center field, should be playable for Finley, and he moves a step to his right to make the grab. Side retired in the top of the 3rd inning. Through 2.5, still no score here for Kings Mills. Lakota East and Fairfield back in a moment on Chatterbox Live. Bottom of inning number 3 for Kings Mills. We're at Kings High School tonight for district semifinal in Southwest Ohio, district number 2. Lakota East Thunderhawks, Fairfield Indians. It's been a really good game so far if you like defense. Patrick Esch and Geoff Kim are with you on the mic tonight. Justin Thomas, our producer, here from Warren County this evening. Lakota East about to bat in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Thunderhawks team looking for their first state title since 2011. Fairfield, of course, their 2 state championships, one in 1991, one in 1985. Been a little while since Fairfield has won a state title. And Jeff, it's really disappointing for me that one of these teams has to lose today, because you go into the season, you expect both of these teams to really make a deep run past even this round of the playoffs. Both of them at this point in the season think they could do so. So it's, to me, just really disappointing that one of them's got to go home today.
Well, as disappointing as it would be for one of these teams to lose between the 4-8 game, imagine how it is in Southwest 3 up in the Dayton area where it's the 1 versus 2.
And we haven't even talked about that district yet. You and I were chatting that one up off camera or off air.
Butler and Centerville going after it right now.
Yep. That's where I was going to eventually turn the story toward, because a lot of eyes are turning toward that district in Southwest Ohio. Leading off this bottom of the third for East is Max Vincent, the DH, in the 8th spot. First one of him was up and away to make it 1 ball, no strikes. And the next one is a swing and a miss on a fastball upper part of the zone over the plate to make it 1-1 as Kayden Campbell returns to the hill for the 3rd inning of work in his start. Lefty deals the 1-1 and a swing and a miss. A little bit in front of that curveball was Max Vincent. Some nasty stuff off the left hand of Campbell.
Outstanding curveball. And the placement is beautiful. On the inner half of the plate, it would have been a strike anyways.
1-2 on the way. This is going to miss in the dirt. Vincent to take to make it 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Campbell had a bit of a long inning the last frame. After going 9 pitches in the first frame, he threw 22 pitches in the last frame. So he's trying to get more economical here in the 3rd.
286 on the year is Vincent. 2-2 deal. This is up and away. The count moves to full as Vincent here leads off this 3rd inning. 8 RBI on the year for Max. Does have a pair of doubles on the season. 3-2 deal from Kayden Campbell. Slow one off the end of the bat, and the liner's caught on the mound by Campbell as he was in his follow-through. Just kind of caught the end of the aluminum there in the hands of Max Vincent and hitting a good spot for Kayden Campbell to make the grab in his glove for 1 out here in the bottom of 3.
Right place, right time for Vincent. He's gone full, by the way, to 3 batters in this ballgame. He was full to Jacob Finley. Finley ended up getting a base hit. Then to Rick, he got him to fly out to right for the 2nd out in the last frame, and then the line out here just now.
Right fielder Trent Dilley in the 9th spot will show bunt, pull it back for a first pitch ball that misses low. Such a pitcher's duel we got going here in Kings Mills this afternoon. A 1-0 deal to Dilley is high, 2 balls and no strikes. Trent Dilley, number 2 in white for Lakota East today, 266 on the season, 11 RBI. This one is going to miss away as well, and it's 3-0 to Dilley. First time we've had a 3-0 count in the game.
Well, let's see if Dilley has the green light here on 3-0. I would imagine not, given the scoreless game, given still the 3rd inning, but that's kind of the point of why you might swing away, because you are scoreless.
3-0, he's taken all the way on the inside corner, make it 3-1. Slower fastball there that came in from Kayden Campbell. Maybe the green light here on the 3-1. On the way to Dilley, swing and a miss. Cut through that fastball in the inner half, 3 balls and 2 strikes. The count is full.
4th full count here for Campbell. 7 overall in this ball game, if you can believe it.
And he'll try to win the battle again here against Trent Dilley. In the air, soft pop-up, shallow right field. Second baseman tracks back to make the play. It's a good one by Josh Wiseman for the out, kind of moving with the backwards run there, and then the quick turnaround, able to find it in the glove. A few steps into the grass. And so we're back to the top of the East order here with 2 men out in the bottom of 3.
Well, a really nice play by Wiseman. He was, again, as you had mentioned, partner, back to the infield. He could have easily tripped over on his own feet in making that spin around back to the outfield. Good job for Josh to hold his feet and make the catch on the run.
Nick Raymond shows a bunt, gets it off, but it's foul. Went off the plate below his feet, and so the count moves to 0-1. Foul out over to first base by Nick Raymond, his first time up, the shortstop for East. A little bit of a delay here before the 0-1 pitch to Raymond. Deal finally comes in upstairs at head level there to Raymond. Makes a 1 ball and 1 strike. Of course, the winner of this game takes on the 15-seed Sycamore or the 12-seed LaSalle on Thursday. And there's an asterisk next to Thursday when we say that. On the outside corner, 1 ball, 2 strikes.
It might be a swim meet.
Pretty impressive that Sycamore and LaSalle, what they've been able to do in the tournament. The LaSalle team that's getting really hot at the right time of the year. 1-2 on the way. Up and a little bit outside as well to Nick Rabin to even the count at 2-2.
Well, good point, right? You know, in this game, we have the 4 versus 8. Not often you would see on the other side of the bracket a 12 and 15,
right,
both lower than these two teams playing here.
2-2, another one up and away. Maybe a curveball that time for Campbell that didn't quite do what he wanted, and it's 3-2.
Curveball doesn't curve. Not exactly a cement mixer, but it's way outside, and you don't even swing.
Another full count. Nick Rabin, the 3-2, jumps on it. Foul pop-up behind the plate. This will get out of play. And so we will do it again on another 3-2 to Nick Rabin.
By the way, you want to talk about living dangerously or living well if you are Kayden Campbell. He's gone full to the first 3 batters in this 3rd inning. He's retired the first 2, and he's working on the 3rd right here. If he wiggles out of this one, you better touch him with some lucky rabbit's feet or something.
3-2 on the way. Beautiful breaking ball in the outside corner. Looked at for strike 3. And Nick Rabin is retired as another quiet offensive 3rd inning on both sides of the scoreboard. We are going to the 4th here from Kings Mills. Still looking for our first run between East and Fairfield on Chatterbox Live. 2, 3, and 4 spots due up for the Fairfield Indians as we get underway here at the top of the 4th inning from Kings Mills, Ohio. What is a gorgeous Tuesday night for some district semifinal baseball here between Lakota East and Fairfield. And those 2, 3, and 4 hitters for the Indians here at the top of 4 will be Josh Wiseman, John Rodriguez, and Connor Rackett for the Indians. Patrick Etch and Geoff Kim are with you on the mic. Justin Thomas producing for us here from Warren County this evening. What is a gorgeous one, 75 degrees. That's my ideal temperature.
That's your room temperature,
right? That's
my
room temperature.
You may have the prettiest room in Southwest Ohio right now.
First steal to 4th inning off the right hand of Evan Whitaker will miss down and away on the breaking ball to Josh Wiseman, who struck out in his first time up. A 1-0. This is down and away, 2-0. Got away there from the catcher for Lakota East in Dylan Rick.
Fairfield's a good hitting team. Led the conference in hitting with a .301 average. Had 7 triples as a team this year.
2-0, a foul ball off the end of the bat line softly down the right field part of the diamond. That'll get away from everybody and drop foul to make it 2-1. But they're also facing Evan Whitaker today.
So you're going to be late on everything is what you're saying.
What I'm saying is offensively it might not be the same type of game for Fairfield that they're used to.
Well, given the whips of the 2 starting pitchers, you're absolutely correct.
2-1 deal from Whitaker. Foul tipped off the mitt. And it will even this one up to 2-2.
I mean, it's just big-time velocity in the case of Whitaker, right? 92?
Yep.
That's a hefty fastball.
It is. 2-2 deal from the righty, the senior righty, and that will hit the outside corner for strike 3. Wiseman knew it too. Left the box as soon as that one hit the mitt. Second time Wiseman has struck out today, and he leads off this 4th inning for 1 out in the frame. So a single last time up for John Rodriguez. It's the only hit Fairfield has launched today. He steps in here with 1 away, bases empty, and the first one misses upstairs for ball 1.
As we had mentioned prior to him getting his last hit, 19 of 33, so now 20 of 34.
1-0 off the end of the bat, a foul that is going to get out of play the right side of the field.
And I'm trying to do my right state math. It's not exactly easy. 20 of 34.
Deals a swing and a miss. Chased a curveball there. Was out in front of it. That eventually dropped down and away. And Rodriguez here We'll be ready for the next one to Whitaker. 1-2 is the pitch. Barely stays alive with a foul off the end of the bat. Hit the dirt, bounced right in front of us. Stays 1-2 here to Rodriguez.
Well, we got the chance to talk to Tommy Begley before the ball game, and one of the big things he pointed out was that John Rodriguez is having fun at the plate. And
yes.
I think that's the biggest part of it.
Said the pressure is off now, not like it was at the beginning of the year. This one a fastball up and away, 2-2. And he said once he started hitting well, getting that confidence, kind of building his self-esteem at the dish this year, because the pressure came off, it just made him even better at the plate. Another one off the end of the bat, foul ball that'll get out of play right side of the field. Certainly it has been a great year for Rodriguez, fifth in the GMC in average coming into this game at .388. However, that has risen after his single back in the first inning. 2-2 deal, a big one from Whitaker on the way. It's a ground ball up the middle, and this is going to get through for a single. Another one to center field for John Rodriguez. He's 2 for 2 on the day. And a one-out base hit will put him on first base here in the fourth.
Now, base runners have been few and far between today. As you mentioned, just 2 base hits, both by Rodriguez, and both of the seeing eye variety. And in fact, you think about the open space in between right at second base, and you'd think that somebody would get over to cover it. It wasn't a hard hit ball, but it just had eyes on it.
So Rodriguez on first, and the opening pitch is a swing and a miss to Connor Rackett, the first baseman, a cleanup hitter. Make it 0-1. So Whitaker has to deal with a base runner now in this fourth inning, a rare occurrence for him in this start. Soft pop-up down the right field line. This one will be caught coming in there to make a nice grab. I believe that was the second baseman for East. They had Braden Fry who grabbed the out. Good job to range over to his left and catch the soft pop-up. 2 away here in the fourth. And we see Kemper Murray, the 5-hitter up, as Rocky did not get all of that one.
The way these two teams are pitching, especially their starting pitching today, I don't know if the bottom of the lineup will get 3 at-bats today.
It's a good point, really good point. First one to Murray, misses away, 1-0. It has been a fast-moving game. But if you're just joining us, one that we expected to move quickly with the 2 pitchers on the mound that we're seeing today. And Evan Whitaker and Kayden Campbell, pitchers duel on top, and is playing out to be one here from Kings Mills. It's going to run inside and hit Kemper Murray in the left shoulder. He's going to take first base. And for the first time in an inning of this game, we'll have 2 base runners on at the same time. And he's moving up to second is Rodriguez. You have Murray moving into first. A rare occurrence that Whitaker hits a batter, and now we'll call a meeting at the mound here for East.
We see the slow trot by Ray Hamilton, and I don't know if this is a pitching change. It seemed like when we talked to him, now keep in mind, Ray Hamilton is a man of few words, at least with the media. But he was actually polite about talking about the fact that he wanted Whitaker to go as long and hard as possible, but he did pitch 6 full in the last game on Thursday, and while that is last week, right, that's 5 days ago now, so he's working on 4 days rest. Right now he's on pitch number 61 coming on up. Yeah. At some point you lose feel and you lose velocity when you're working on maybe perhaps short rest.
Looks like he's staying in the game, maybe just a meeting for Ray Hamilton to see where his pitcher is, and also delay this Fairfield momentum here that's built over the last 2 at-bats. Reese Wayhoff, the catcher, is up. Runners on first and second, 2 out here in this 4th inning. The best chance any team has had to score a run. This one is outside. The first delivery to Reese Wayhoff, 4-1. Ground out to shortstop, the first at bat of the game for Wayhoff. Catcher here is a 1-0 count. As Whitaker deals. Swing and a miss. Screen fastball there on the outer half. Wayhoff behind it, 1-1.
What's amusing to see right now is both the second baseman and the shortstop converging in towards the second base bag. They're trying to make sure that the lead run stays as close as possible, but they're playing a little bit of chicken with the runner back there.
Cut and miss on the 1-1. Fastball lower part of the zone. It's 1-2 to Reese Wayhoff. As Whitaker tries to battle back in this inning. 2 outs. 1 strike away from this mini jam with runners on first and second. 1-2 deal to Reese Wayhoff. His shortstop and second base go back to their normal positions before the pitch. This one is away, 2-2. Fastball that time from Whitaker. Big 2-2 on the way here to Wayhoff. Rodriguez on second. Trying to play a little chicken as well there. This one up and away, and the count moves to full.
Well, I understand what the infielders are doing, right? They're basically looking back at one another saying, who's covering which? Is it me? Is it you? And then when they both separate, you think about it as a hitter, and you're thinking, I want to hit up the middle. It's just really hard to do against Evan Whitaker.
3-2 on the way for the righty. In the air, center field. The liner, Finley, has it and makes the catch. On a liner that was hit in a really good place right to him. Good contact there for Wayhoff. But Finley able to make the grab, and we stay scoreless through 3.5 here from Kings Mills. Fairfield with straight 2 on base. We're going to the bottom of the 4th when we come back. And this is Southwest 2 District semifinal baseball on Chatterbox Live. Let's go to the bottom of the 4th. Why not? In a game for Kings Mills that's not even an hour old yet. We are 54 minutes into this contest. And already into the bottom of inning number 4. Lakota East and Fairfield, our district semifinal here for Southwest Ohio District number 2. We'll see Colin Sweeney, Braden Fry, Jacob Finley bat in the home half of the 4th inning for the Thunderhawks. 2, 3, and 4 spots. So the meat of this order is we have a new pitcher, I'm just told, for Fairfield, and it is in fact a new arm. Kayden Campbell's day is done after 3 innings on the hill. So this is a developing story, and our new arm is going to be Aaron England, the sophomore, number 21. So we were told by Tommy Begley today before the game, Jeff, that they thought England was probably going to throw today when Campbell could not go anymore. We did see the trainer come out in the last inning to Kayden Campbell, a very quick check to make sure he was okay. Maybe some medical stuff going on. We couldn't really tell. Nothing seemed abnormal to us, but maybe something going on with Kayden Campbell today medically, and so now we'll see England in a spot in this game that we thought we wouldn't see him this early, but he comes in, and this changes up the kind of trajectory of this game a little bit and the feel of it maybe.
Well, it sure does. And by the way, Aaron England is coming off a gem. I don't know if this will be the Aaron England game, if that's what we're going to call it, because he does have a 17 strikeout game on a one-hitter earlier this year, but he pitched a 2-hit shutout against St. X in a battle between 8 versus 9 last Thursday. Walked 1, struck out 6, and he has been a master. One of the best strikeout artists in the entire area, making his 11th appearance. His 3rd in relief. He has pitched 43 innings, so have only given up 18 base hits, 11 runs, 10 earned, 19 walks, 75 strikeouts, 3-2 his record. He's got a save to his record and a 1.63 earned run average. He's got a whip of .86.
Video game stuff this season from England. Colin Sweeney, the lefty, will dig in here to start it out for East. There's a slight delay before we get going here at the bottom of the 4th inning. Looks like we're ready to play. Love that strikeout to walk ratio for England. You mentioned 75 Ks to 19 walks for the lefty. The first one he deals will miss down and away here to Sweeney to make it 1-0.
You want to talk about going from out of the fire and into the frying pan. I mean, you get a lefty in Campbell going to Louisville, and then you get a lefty in England going to Louisville.
Inside corner, that hits 1 ball and 1 strike. Colin Sweeney, we mentioned his offensive capability this season. Leads the GMC in RBI this year, or at least is tied for the lead with 28 coming into the game today as a curveball misses outside from England to make it 2 balls and 1 strike. Lefty gets lefty matchup here, the 2-1. Sharp ground ball. This will get through the whole right side, and a leadoff single for Colin Sweeney puts him on first base here in the 4th. So that brings up Braden Fry, who struck out his last time up for East. Second baseman digs in, another big opportunity here for the Thunderhawks. Especially with that leadoff runner on, as now we slight delay for a meeting here as Fry called over to Ray Hamilton at third base to discuss the next move here for East.
Wonder if he'll sacrifice himself in this situation. I mean, you really right now are playing for a single run. And while we had thought initially coming in, maybe the first team to 3 might win this game, maybe it's the first team to 1.
That's what it's shaping out to be. Popped up, foul territory, right side, moving toward the outfield. Everybody coming in, nobody's going to get to it. And sliding there ahead of the ball, dropping was the Fairfield right fielder, Ashton McCann. Ball dropped about 2 feet in front of him as he had that triage of players going out over there. Maybe it was out of the frame of your camera, but just not quite in range for any of the Indians to get there. So it's 0-1 here to Braden Fry, the second baseman, who did strike out his last time up. Colin Sweeney on first base here for East. In the bottom of the fourth, still looking for our first run this afternoon. Runner moving before the pitch. Sweeney slides head first, safely into second. Great awareness, great base running there for Sweeney, who catches the lefty England off guard, and Sweeney in scoring position with nobody out here in the fourth.
You know, it's funny. If this was a Major League ball game, they would have called that a caught stealing, and then he reaches second because of the lack of fielder ability, though technically not an error. Technically, that's a stolen base here for Colin Sweeney here in the high school ranks. By the way, while we're at it, close the book on Kayden Campbell. 3 innings, 2 hits, no runs, no walks, 4 strikeouts. He threw 50 pitches today.
So not a bad line, but maybe a shorter one than the Indians maybe thought or expected today. At least what we heard from Tommy Begley before the game. All right, so Braden Fry now has a man on second base. The 0-1 pitch. He shows bunt, pulls it back, and it misses outside the breaking ball from England. 1 ball and 1 strike.
Well, we did figure that the emergence of England would be situation dependent, right? Within a run, either way. Obviously, he comes in a tie situation, but within a run of the ballgame, whether it was a lead or a deficit.
1-1 deal on the way. Another showed bunt, pulling it back. The ball gets away. Sweeney to third. He slides in ahead of the throw, safe. And now Colin Sweeney is 1 base away for breaking the ice in this game on what was a pass ball there for the Fairfield catcher and way off. It's the ball that was in the dirt, kind of deflected off his glove, easily playable, but way off. Unable to come up with it. And so now you got a 2-1 count to Braden Fry with Sweeney on third, nobody out. In the bottom of the 4th inning, England will deal. This one will hit the zone over the plane of the curveball. A big call there for England, 2-2.
The curveball for England is a plus pitch. It's a legitimate plus pitch. Has a couple of planes to it on the break. Nice tight spin. Feels more like a slider at times.
2-2 deal coming here from Braden Fry with Sweeney on third. There's a swing and a miss on another breaking ball. Very well placed by England. Got the job done there. And that now makes for a 1 out here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Still a sack situation for East. As Jacob Finley now steps in, the cleanup man here for the Thunderhawks. 1 out. Man on third. First one to him is on the inside corner for a strike. Finley, another tough out in his East lineup. 403 hitter on the season. He singled his last time up. In the dirt, missed away as well, 1-1.
A little bit of a different situation than the St. X game. If you go back to the 6th inning on Thursday, Brendan Heilman, who had been the starting pitcher, who had also been, he was an outstanding hitter as well, took third on a 2-base error after reaching on a hit by pitch and then tried to steal home.
On the outside corner, the take there to make it 1-2.
We won't see a steal of home here in this opportunity for Colin Sweeney.
So the lefty has a big one coming up here And what is still a sack situation for East. The lefty at England against the lefty at Finley. Outside 2-2.
By the way, when the pitch is coming to the outside half to a left-handed batter, it has a ton of movement. And right now, the catcher, Reese Wayhoff, is struggling to make sure that he covers the outside black.
2-2 deal on the way from England. Popped up. This one is going to get out of play behind us. Up the third base side of the field, staying alive is Finley. Nice battle we're watching here between England and Finley. Key moment of this game. 2-2 on the way. Outside, and the count moves to full. You have the potential, and I say very potential game-winning run right now on third base with one out here in this fourth inning, the way this game is going. And that's Sweeney. The 3-2 is a swing and a foul tip into the mitt. Jacob Finley down to the strikeout. England with a huge one there to get the K. And there are 2 out in the bottom of the fourth inning.
That's 6 strikeouts now for Fairfield pitching this afternoon.
So we'll see the 5-hitter Sam Penix at third base. He was one of those strikeout victims his first time up. And we'll rope a ground ball foul, third base, or first base side rather, on the opening pitch. Make it 0-1.
Wow, so imagine this. If you get a runner on third with nobody out, and if you're able to wiggle out of it, how much momentum does that give Fairfield? Now, conversely, if you're Lakota East and you can push this run across, man, if you're Evan Whitaker, you're licking your chops.
Time is called here before this pitch, which was the 0-1 to Sam Penix of East. One of their top average hitters this season, 356 coming into the game today. Here's the deal from England. Just misses the inside black. 1-1.
Not by much, too. I mean, it was in a perfect place, just below the knees. And maybe it was just a little bit low and a little bit inside. But I think, it had it been one way or the other, a little bit more in or a little bit more up, that might have been a strike.
1-1 deal on the way. Curveball upstairs in the head area. 2-1.
East, by the way, is leading the GMC this year in runs scored, 173, as well as on-base percentage, nearly 420. But if you're not walking, you're not getting on base.
Pitch on the way. Did that hit him? Yes, it did. Got him in the foot. The back foot of Penix will take his base. And now they're on the corners here with 2 out. Is kind of a breaking pitch there that got away from England. So runners on first and third. That's going to make the story here a little bit more interesting, as now you got Sweeney still hanging out on third. Moving up on the hit by pitch is Penix up to first. That brings up the catcher, Dylan Rick, who lined out to right his last time up. They're going to pinch run at first base here, is coming in for East to take over the running duties at first, number 22, in Wyatt Kleinman, the junior. So an important bat there to Penix. Gives way to another important bat in this game, this time to Dylan Rick, the catcher, who is 0 for 1 today with that line out to right.
Well, at this time of year, you're going to see Kleinman or guys like him into pinch run. He's only had 3 at-bats this year, but he scored 5 times. What does that tell you? He's in to run.
He moves from first to second without any attention from the Fairfield defense on the first pitch that missed inside for ball 1 to Dylan Rick. So now second and third with 2 out here for East. Timeout is called, as I believe the umpires there had to reset their positions with the new second and third on the base paths here for East. 1-0 deal from England. Curveball, beauty. Inside corner, taken 1-1. That went from inside, or outside rather, to inside on Rick. Tied him up. And stopped on the inside corner. England's pace noticeably slower here. The 1-1 is off the end of the bat foul over toward the first base side, 1-2. And England one strike away from getting out of the biggest jam we've seen on either side of this game.
This will be England's 22nd pitch of this frame.
It's a big 1-2 coming here with Sweeney on third base and Penix on second, or rather Kleinman. Here it is. Inside, just misses. 2-2.
Good eye at the plate, by the way, for Rick. I mean, hard to lay off that one with 2 strikes, but it was just 2 inches inside.
2-2 on the way coming here. England, the lefty, will deal. Swing and a miss for strike 3. Got him on the outside corner fastball. And England escapes the mound with applies and a standing O from the Fairfield faithful. What an exit for England, who comes in relief as he strands 2 runners in scoring position. And we're done with 4 here for Kings Mills. Still scoreless in what is turning out to be a thriller district semifinal. We're back in a moment with a 5th on Chatterbox Live. We are back with the top of the 5th inning after what was a spectacular 4th.
You ain't kidding.
From the district semifinal here, district number 2 in Southwest Ohio. Still scoreless, Lakota East and Fairfield. Patrick Esch, Geoff Kim are with you. Justin Thomas producing tonight here on Chatterbox Live. And I just love the emotion we saw from Aaron England when he walked off the hill after striking out the side in that bottom of the 4th inning with East stranding runners in scoring position to end the frame. You know this game means something to Aaron England, the emotion he showed, and these fans are fired up too. What a big defensive inning there for Fairfield, Jeff.
Well, one of the things that he had mentioned after the last game on Thursday was he talked about it being his first start, his first playoff appearance. And as a sophomore, getting a start, it's a big deal, especially in a sectional game. And the fact that he was able to come out of it and pitch now what is his 8th shutout inning in this playoffs, I mean, yeah, you can't help but think that he's going to be pumped up because he now has a ton of confidence. He knows he can get outs. And after going through 23 pitches, though, here in the last frame, you wonder how much gas he'll have in the tank.
Yeah. So that would be a big question mark as we keep moving through this one. Of course, at some point, the adrenaline, the emotion might kick in, and that can add some fuel to your gas tank. But at the end of the day, you have guys throwing in this game on both sides that are shorter rest than usual when we see in the regular season. So it'll be the 7, 8, and 9 spots, bottom of the order for Fairfield, and the first one is lined to the shortstop and caught there by Rabin. Off the bat of Josh Isaacs, the third baseman, the leadoff line out to the shortstop for round number 1 already here in this 5th inning. Ashton McCann next up, the right fielder who lined out to third base his last time up. In the 8th spot here, steps in with a 1 out. Base is empty in the top of the 5th. First steal to McCann down and away in the dirt. And it's 1-0. Evan Whitaker back on the hill for the 5th inning of his start. Deal will be outside here to move the count to 2-0. Saw a mound visit last inning for Whitaker when he had 2 base runners on by his head coach Ray Hamilton. Other than that, not a whole lot of real adversity or other adversity for Whitaker in the game so far this afternoon, as that one fouled back to make it 2-1.
Boy, he has pitched a clinic here this afternoon. Allowing just 2 hits.
2-1 deal is lined through the whole left side. It's a base hit.
Allowing just 3 hits.
And Ashton McCann, maybe heard you say 2 hits, wanted to make it 3. Before that deal, sends it in the left for the single, the 1 out single. So he's on first. And Brady Black, the DH, who struck out his last time to the plate for Fairfield.
Well, how about the line on Whitaker so far? 4 1/3 so far. He's just given up his 3rd hit. No runs, obviously, on the board. No walks and 6 strikeouts. That's really, really good.
Yep.
And he's done it so far in 71 pitches.
First deal on the way. That'll be upstairs, making 1-0. So 1 out, 1 on here for the Indians in the inning. That's McCann at first base. Whitaker, another base runner to worry about here this frame. This one is fouled back to the fence. Let's make it 1 ball and 1 strike. We'll see Noah Wagster do up next for the Indians, who are 7-3 in their last 10 games. Really turned things around this year after about a 500 year last year. Runner goes. This is popped up. Foul territory behind the plate. Catcher trying to get to it and finds it and tracks it. The catch made behind the dish there by Rick, kind of in front of us. Moving back to first base is McCann. The foul out by Brady Black. And a big second out of this frame for Whitaker.
Good job by Dylan Rick. He set his feet very well, spread apart well enough so he had balance. And, you know, as he was motioning back, having to bow his back, he wasn't going to fall down. Good job by Dylan.
Wagster here for Fairfield will drive one to left center field. This will be dropped in front of the left field fence. Colin Sweeney was on it. They're going to wave around the runner. McCann, the throw to the plate is not in time. Safe coming in was McCann on an RBI double here in the 5th inning. And it's 1-0. Fairfield finally breaks the ice. The throw was there to Rick. He had it in time, but sliding completely under the tag. A clean slide under the tag by McCann to get safe at the plate. We saw it from here. We have the best seat in the house of that play, Jeff, and he was under it. It's safe. And the game's first run to Fairfield.
Well, good job by Sweeney to at least get a good throw on in back to the infield. But, again, a great start there by Ashton McCann, who really was off with the jump of the pitch. And that ball by Wagster just kept carrying and carrying. I think Sweeney thought it was a little bit more of a can of corn off the bat, and then it just drove into that gap.
Big RBI for Wagster, who's on second here with 2 outs. Brings up Wiseman. First one to him is a strike at the outside corner. Wiseman has struck out twice in both at bats today. So it's 0-1. Next deal, driven up the middle for a base hit. They're going to wave around Wagster, the leadoff man, and he's going to score easily standing up. And it's 2-0 Fairfield on the Wiseman RBI single. The lead double for the Indians. And here comes Ray Hamilton in the infield to the mound for East. Wiseman drives it in. 2 straight run-producing hits for the Indians here in this 5th inning. The day is done for Evan Whitaker. And he escapes the mound with a standing ovation from his home crowd. All the East players out of the dugout to greet him. And Geoff Kim, the last 5 minutes have produced a turn of events that we did not see coming at all.
Absolutely, and we can't quite close the book on Whitaker yet, but 4 2/3 see the exits, having given up 5 base hits, 2 runs, both of which have been earned. However, the runner over at first is his responsibility. No walks, 6 strikeouts. He's on the hook for the loss, and I would imagine we'll see the left-hander coming on in. We will. It's Jack Villarreal, 6'3", 195 pounds, a senior, making his 9th appearance, his 2nd in relief. 38 2/3 innings pitched, 33 hits, 23 runs, 18 of which have been earned, just 9 walks against 67 strikeouts. He is 3-1 this season with a 3.26 earned run average, and he's got a whip of 1.086. He's committed to Trine University. Fastball tops 85, curve, change, drop and drive pitcher, will throw 3/4.
So there you go. The southpaw comes on here for East in a big part in this game. What needs to be a shutdown next part of this game for East with the score at 2-0. There's just a lot of different things happening here in this 5th inning. All of a sudden, Noah Wagster, that RBI double that scored McCann to put across the first run for Fairfield. And then next up was Wiseman, who roped that RBI single to right center, and that was able to score Wagster from second base. And so now all of a sudden it's 2-0 Indians, and Evan Whitaker's day is done after giving up 2 RBI hits in a row for East. Villarreal comes in, and we see what happens from here.
77 pitches, by the way, today for Evan Whitaker, who pitched really well. Though about the last 6 or 7 pitches, it felt like he lost his stuff and the ball was leaking back over the plate.
did seem to me for sure that stuff was not as sharp as it was earlier on in the game. And we talked about pitching on short rest with that Thursday matchup last Thursday where Whitaker was in against Turpin. We were told that the rest would not be a factor today, but potentially it was here in this fifth inning. As before the lefty throws the first pitch, time is called at the plate here as John Rodriguez steps in, and this is not the guy you want to see in this spot for East when you need to shut down that bat here.
No, not at all. 2 for his last 2, both seeing eye singles back up the middle.
First one misses upstairs to Rodriguez. 388 average coming into the day today. That is obviously higher now. 5th best in the GFC. Still got a runner on first base, by the way. That's Wiseman. 1-0 deal on the way here with 2 outs. This one is slammed out of play. First base side and out.
So the good news if you're Tommy Begley is the offense has now given Aaron England a 2-run lead. You're talking about one of the toughest pitchers in the GMC this year.
It's got to feel good for England. This one is a grounder to third base. Penix goes to second for the force. They are barely there in time to get Wiseman at second base on the 5-4 putout. However, that will end this 5th inning, or the top of it, rather, the top of the 5th. And Fairfield puts across 2 runs in the frame to break this one up. It is a 2-0 lead for the Indians. Lakota East trying to answer when we come back in the bottom of 5. This is Chatterbox Live. Bottom of the 5th inning from Kings Mills, Ohio. 2-0 game all of a sudden. The Fairfield Indians on top of the Lakota East Thunderhawks. Back with you for the district semifinal in Southwest District number 2. Here for Kings High School tonight. So glad you're with us, spending a part of your Tuesday with us. We appreciate it. Patrick Esch and Geoff Kim are with you on the mic. Justin Thomas producing for us tonight. We'll see Aaron England return to the hill here in the bottom of the 5th for Fairfield, as Easter's going to send up the bottom of their order. Drew Tower, Max Vincent, and Trent Dilley here in this 5th inning. And he's got to get those bats out here, Jeff. You got 3 more opportunities to put across 2 runs, and that is much easier said than done in this game against this Fairfield pitching staff.
You know, good point. You know, if you're Tommy Begley, you're counting outs right now, right? I mean, and right now the count is at 9, so you're counting down to try to get to 0 at this point with 3 more innings and a lead. And you've given the ball to Aaron England, and not to say that the starting pitcher, Kayden Campbell, for whatever reason he left the ball game. I mean, maybe it had been pitch usage, though he had been at 50 pitches, right? So the pitch usage wasn't that bad, but for whatever reason, you know, Begley pulls them, goes to England. Now they've given England the run, and he's understood how to operate with the lead. I mean, he operated with a 1-0 lead for 7 innings last week.
So here we go. First pitch of the frame is going to be a strike at the outside corner to Drew Tower, the first baseman who struck out his last time up.
By the way, that delivery, nice and easy for England. We didn't see that totally in the last frame.
Up and away to make it 1 ball and 1 strike. It's just going to say the mental part of the game. So much easier when you know you have that cushion. Sure, there was a smile on England's face in the dugout during that last offensive half inning for Fairfield. Swing and a miss here to make it 1-2 to Drew Tower.
Heater has life, by the way. He can bring it upwards about 86, 87 miles per hour.
1-2 deal, swing and a miss. High fastball got him to chase. And 1 away here in the bottom of 5 as Tower retired with his 2nd strikeout of the afternoon.
Story about Aaron England. Basically saw sparse innings a year ago. Topped out maybe about 76 miles per hour. Added 10 miles an hour to his fastball in the offseason.
One here by Max Vincent goes off the backstop. Trying to get that one down on a down and in pitch to make it 0-1.
So when you add 10 miles an hour to your fastball and your curveball's already good, mercy, all of a sudden you have the makings of a really outstanding pitcher. Because that deception on the curveball becomes even more prominent.
Exactly. 0-1 for England, fouled off the catcher. Going to be 0-2. Looks like Way off here will be all right, as our home plate umpire, Brian Koretsch, will walk the ball out to our pitcher here in Aaron England to give the man behind the plate a little bit of extra time and way off. Seems to be okay, though.
What's a thankless job to be back there? Reed Mouse knows firsthand about the tools of ignorance and how thankless it is. Thankless it really is. So really, catchers and umpires really have a synergistic relationship with one another because of it.
0-2 deal on the way. Upstairs 1-2. There's two things rising here in Kings Mills, Geoff Kim. One is the pollen count. And the next one is you can just start to feel the tension between these two teams really grow since the last break we took. I just sense and feel this much greater tension at the field after those runs by Fairfield. 2-2 is the count here to Max Vincent. And the deal by England with one out is off the end of the bat. Fly ball on the right field line. This is playable and caught by McCann, the Fairfield right fielder. 2 away here in the 5th.
Next batter, number 2, the right fielder, Trent Dilley.
So that brings Trent Dilley to the plate, the 9-hitter for East, as England searches for another 1-2-3 inning.
A little bit more economical, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
This time around. 8 pitches so far.
2 outs. First steal from the lefty, the at-bat to the lefty hitter. And Dilley is on the inside corner for strike 1. Oh, 1 as England's size on the mound will deliver the next one. Beauty right down Broadway. 0-2 on the take there by Dilley.
So take your pick right now. Heater, which is working for you right now, or the curveball, which it may be a pitch that Dilley has to chase out of the strike zone.
It's quite a choice. 0-2 deal from the lefties, up and away 1-2 as he wasted one there. The good take by Trent Dilley. Guys for on WMOH next to us are going Dilley, Dilley, like the commercials. 1-2. On the outside corner, taken for strike 3, and England with another big-time inning for Fairfield. Shuts down the 5th, and it stays 2-0 Indians as we go to the 6th. Geoff Kim will take over the play-by-play when we return to Kings Mills, our district semifinal on Chatterbox Live. Back at Kings High School in Kings Mills, Ohio. It is the top of the 6th inning. Fairfield and Lakota East going at it. Our district semifinal here in Southwest District number 2 on Chatterbox Live. And with the play-by-play, take us home, Geoff Kim.
Patrick, thank you very much. To reset, 2 runs on 5 base hits, no errors, and 4 left on for Fairfield this afternoon. On the other side of the till, no runs, 2 hits, no errors, 3 left on for Lakota East. It has been a pitching clinic once again. In the last frame, the 2 runs were pushed across after Ashton McCann had gotten on base. He was driven home on a double to the left field gap by Noah Wagster to make it 1-0. Wagster rode home on a base hit by Josh Wiseman, and we have our 2-0 lead. And we expect to see another inning of work for Josh Villarreal. 4, 5, and 6 coming up. Connor Rackett, Kemper Murray, and Reese Wayhoff. So maybe shutouts have been the name of the game. And we'll tell you here after this next pitch to Rackett. And it's taken on the inside black. Nice pitch, fastball rode in. And it's 0-1. Connor, a strikeout, a pop-up, 0 for 2. Villarreal working quickly, cut on and missed. Actually, he got a piece of it, 0-2. So in the first game of this Chatterbox double dip, the matinee, it was Mason winning 6-0 today. Up over at Liberty Township, over where Lakota East plays their baseball games. Swing and a miss. Good morning, good afternoon, good night. 1 away.
Next batter, number 6, the left fielder, Kemper Murray.
That's the first strikeout for Villarreal this afternoon as he'll go to work on Kemper Murray. 0 for 1 officially, hit by a pitch back in the fourth inning. Wide open stance. In fact, almost pigeon-toed with the left foot as he takes a called strike. It's 0-1. The full wind for Villarreal, and he deals. The strike one offering is a high fly into shallow left field. Coming on is Sweeney. He can't get to it, and he'll drop in the flare base hit. I mean, it had some air underneath it, and it just looked like it hit a wall just past the infield and dropped down, almost like it hit a bird or something. And it's a base hit, the 6th base hit this afternoon for Fairfield.
Just such a tough spot for all three defenders over there for East to get to it.
I mean, it was hit in no man's land as well, just past the grasp of the shortstop. High chop, foul off the third baseline, 0-1. Reese Wayhoff, a ground out and a fly out, 0 for 2. Getting his first look at Jack Villarreal, who I think had an inning at the end of the season to kind of warm up for this ball game, and a swing and miss for Wayhoff, 0-2. So Villarreal has worked ahead, at least in this frame. He worked a first pitch base on balls, and actually we got a stolen base here as Murray takes second. A long look in, and on that long look in, Murray was able to take off for second and get into scoring position. What I meant to say is on the force play that ended the last frame, Villarreal had thrown a ball on that first pitch, and he's thrown strikes since. And this one fouled down the third baseline, right in front of Penix, who tried to play it into an out, nothing doing, and it's 1-2. 2-0 here in Kings Mill. A beauty so far. We had mentioned the shutout streak. 6-0 Mason in our matinee game this afternoon. 1-0 in our last broadcast a week ago Thursday, as we'll have a conference call on the mound as Villarreal will ask Dylan Rick to come on out. Now, I don't know who gets the credit on that because JT wasn't in our presence last Thursday, nor was he over at the game at Mason in which the mighty one Reed Mouse called, but he's here with us, and he is prone to be present for shutouts. Runner at second, and cut on and missed. Down goes Wayhoff, and there's 2 away here in the visiting 6th.
So is that why he's esteemed? Is because he's always around shutouts?
Well, he's around soccer shutouts very usually. In fact, when JT and I were calling games together and separately a couple years ago, there were zero goals in pretty much every game that JT was a part of. I started calling him JT the shutout. It sounds derisive, but it is a very much of a compliment. And the first pitch is a called strike to Josh Isaacs, 0-1. Isaacs, the team's leading home run hitter with a couple of this year. They check back to second. Villarreal deals. Play it. We're down in the dirt. Nicely scooped up by Rick. Ball 1, and we even up. Isaacs' big body frame. You can see where he generates his power. Got a very long core to him. Obviously long limbs as well. Foul back to the screen. 1-2. Should he reach, it'll be Ashton McCann, who really got the scoring underway in the last frame.
It's been a good bottom of the order today for Fairfield, for sure.
Well, and you think about what's necessary to win these games. It's usually the bottom half of the order because they're not counted to show up. Glove by Penix, he mishandles, and everybody is safe. So off the glove of Penix, as he went up to glove it and make the transfer to his throwing hand, he lost the handle, and Isaacs is a base runner.
Next batter, number 9, the right fielder, Ashton
just a play that you cannot afford to have in a game like this, especially in an inning like this. And it's just kind of unfortunate there. The ball is kind of bouncing funny off the dirt for Penix to try to make a play on that. I'm not blaming him 100% for it, but I'm just saying to have that come up at this point in the game for East. Fairfield knocking on the door here with 2 outs. They did their other damage with 2 outs as well, or some of it. And now you take a runner.
Trying to see who has come on in. Do we see 3? Kayden Glenn, if it's 3 over at first.
Yep.
So Glenn at first, Murray's at second. He did not move up to third because the play was in front of him to Penix on the error. So 2 on for McCann as he takes at the knees. Nice pitch, nothing in 1.
Had a very generous strike zone on both sides today on the corners, in my opinion, for a playoff game.
The check of second, nobody's home as Villarreal steps off. We are in Southwest 2, the other side of the bracket, as Patrick mentioned earlier in the game, LaSalle and Sycamore. And a ground ball hit foul down the third baseline, nothing in 2. One of the things that we noticed here, by the way, before we get back to the sectional talk, is Villarreal has really thrown strike after strike. He's been a strike-throwing machine here in this inning. I mean, I counted only 1 ball in this frame so far.
That's what I have.
Villarreal taking his time, and now the home plate umpire allows for time. Brian Kretzk, as he allows for Ashton McCann to reset himself. He was uncomfortable in the box, and then he called for time, and now he's back in. Here's the pitch, and it's in the dirt, gloved by Rick, and the lead runner moves up. And boy, what an insurance run that would be if Kemper Murray is able to ride home. So in the dirt, and we'll call it a wild pitch, and we have runners at first and third.
No doubt about it. That just makes this pitch that much bigger.
Again, the open stance. McCann waits. Villarreal deals. And it's a ground ball, gloved by the first baseman, Tower. He'll take it to the bag himself, and the side's retired. We go to the home half of the 6th. It's a beauty here in Kings Mill. 2-0 in favor of Fairfield on Chatterbox Live. To the home 6th we go. Aaron England on for his 3rd inning of work. He's got a 2-0 lead here on Chatterbox Live. 3rd round of the playoffs, and depending on what you want to call it, whether it's the district semifinals or the sectional finals, we're glad to be here in Kings Mill with you. Along with Patrick Geshin, I'm Geoff Kim. Thanks for joining us here on Chatterbox Live. So we had a threat in the last frame, Patrick, and good job by Villarreal to push it aside.
Really good job, and just kind of this awareness by Lakota East to kind of wake up there with 2 outs. Villarreal really good at bat that he pitched to, and just defensively there was some miscues for East at the beginning of that inning, but just a good job by East to stay calm, right? Especially with the runners on the corners there with 2 outs. We talked about what could have been a big insurance run there for Fairfield with that runner on third base, but East takes care of it, keeps it a 2-run game, and this is still well within reach for the Thunderhawks.
Aaron England so far, 2 innings pitched, has given up a base hit, obviously no runs, and preserving the shutout, has struck out 5 here in relief. 5.
Unbelievable. Some of these numbers from this game, Jeff, just make you shake your head. That's all you can do.
Well, the stuff has been good from the time he got in. He was a little wild, effectively wild to start off in the 4th inning, and then he figured out here in the last frame, striking out 2 back in the 5th, fouled back to the screen, 0-1 to Nick Rabin. It's Rabin to be followed by Sweeney and Fry. Here in the home 6, 2-0, Fairfield with the lead. We had mentioned that the other side of the bracket is the 12 seed LaSalle and the 18 seed Sycamore. as England deals. Off the plate, 1-1. The Lancers doubled up on the 6-seed Milford last week, 2-1. And what may be the upset of the region so far, the Aviators shocked the Cincinnati 3-seed Oak Hills last Friday, 4-2. And a breaking ball floats in, but it misses the plate, 2-1. The winner of today's games will match up for the district allegedly on Thursday. We say allegedly on Thursday in Milford, set for 5 o'clock. File back to the screen, we even up. We say allegedly because the chance of rain that day is right around 85%.
Yep. That's what your meteorology skills told us earlier in the game.
A beauty here in Kings Mill. 2-2. It's a ground ball to second. Josh Wiseman throws him out.
I think if you're England right now, your confidence level is big enough in your defense where you just want ground balls in the infield. And that's what he's really been pitching well today. Pretty much everything's been ground balls in the infield. So you're never going to get those, and you know you have a really good defense behind you. So if you're England, I think you're just trying to throw here and forget about any noise trying to get in your head.
Sweeney eyeballs the fastball, just a hair high, 1-0. A hit back in the fourth. Went to second on a stolen base and then reached third on a pass ball, and that's as far as he got back in the fourth. 1-0, and the curveball drops down 2 planes, misses the plate, 2-0. So right now, if you are Tommy Begley, and if you're Andrew Gunther, the pitching coach, you're thinking about how you're best managing England for the rest of this game in terms of effectiveness, as this one's popped in the air, foul, and out of play off to our left.
And then obviously if you're Fairfield, you anticipate when's the next game going to be and who are we going to throw then, and we're going to use England then. And
right.
Is Campbell going to be ready then?
Well, pitch counts are an issue, right?
Right.
Because, for instance, in this case, you've got 50 pitches by today's starting pitcher, Kayden Campbell. Now, we're making the assumption that Fairfield holds on to the lead. And the pitch off the plate, it was a long look by Brian Kresh at home plate, 3-1. We'll see if he gets over here on 3-1. As Sweeney waits, looking to pounce on a good pitch over the plate. Here comes the 3-1. Swing and a miss. He was going for the downs on that one. We go full. How many full counts have we had in this ball game?
You keep a track. Did you lose track? You said we had like 9 at one point.
We have, I'm counting back through. As far as Fairfield pitching is concerned, we now have 7 of them, and we do it again. 7. And that's just for one side of the ball here for Fairfield pitching. But they've been effective.
Another head-shaking number in this game.
Well, how many times can you wiggle out of full counts? Payoff. Curve missing outside, and Sweeney's a base runner.
That's a very rare miss on the outside corner for England, especially with a curveball. It's just a rare miss on the outside or inside corner for Fairfield pitching today, period.
Well, we were talking about pitch counts, right? So 50 for Kayden Campbell. And if I understand it correctly, you have increments of 30 on days of rest that you need to have to be able to pitch again, according to Ohio High School Athletic Association. So for Campbell, that would mean 2 days of rest before you can get back on the hill. Now, if you count the 2 days in between as opposed to the day that you're pitching as a first day of rest, the earliest he can go back again is Friday. Right now, we're looking at 44 pitches for Aaron England in relief. Fastball tails away to the right-handed batter. 1-0. To Braden Fry. Struck out looking back in the first, struck out swinging against England back in the fourth. 0 for 2. So right now, if you're Tommy Begley, one of the things you may be hoping for is that the Weather Channel and other media outlets are correct that we'll have a deluge on Thursday and maybe even Friday, and you'll have both arms available for the next time we have a district game. Here's the pitch, and the fastball missing. 2-0. So I don't know if England's losing his stuff. You can only throw so much effectively, especially coming off a complete game shutout back on Thursday. Now, I get it. These are young men, but in the case of Aaron England, who doesn't even have his driver's license yet, there's only so much you can give as Noah Waxter comes in and has a conference call. We can look around the other regions here. We mentioned as we get a quick conference and Waxter returns to shortstop. Southwest 3, the game of the state might be happening as we speak right now. Number 1, Butler, and number 2, Centerville up in the Dayton side of the bracket. There is a strike.
Just going to add quickly, Jeff, we talked about Aaron England doesn't have his driver's license yet. Noah Waxter just came in and talked to him. He doesn't have his either. And that's one thing Tommy Begley was chatting with us. We were laughing about that before the game. He said, these are one of my favorite ones to coach on the team, and two of the most important guys. They don't have their driver's licenses yet.
Here's the throw over the first, and back standing is the runner.
And that just tells you how important this young talent is for Fairfield and how bright the future is for Fairfield with two of your top guys, two of your best guys. Their parents are dropping them off to the games.
Sweeney at first, Fry waiting at the plate, infield looking for 2, popped up. In foul territory, wide of the first base dugout, the first baseman has it. Nice play for Rackett, looking high, up into the high sky, but he grabs it for the second out. Occasionally you need to get bailed out by your defense, and there's an opportunity there for Fairfield to get out of this inning because Rackett was there in perfect placement, camped well underneath, had perfect balance right in front of his own dugout. Time called by the left-hand batter, Jacob Finley. 1 for 2. A hit and a strikeout. England deals. Curveball. Nice pitch. Beauty of a break as it broke to the outer half. 0-1. This next pitch will be his 50th pitch in relief. And I think the big question will be, no matter what the outcome of this is, if he'll come back out for a 7th inning.
Yep.
And it's in the air to left center field. Calling for it is Kemper Murray, and the 6th inning is over. They leave a runner on, but Lakota East can get no further, and we go to the 7th. 2-0 Fairfield on Chatterbox Live. To the 7th inning we go. 2-0 Fairfield leading Lakota East. The 8 over the 4. Along with Patrick Geshen, I'm Geoff Kim. Thanks to our esteemed producer, Justin Thomas, JT the shutout, pitching yet another one.
Esteemed.
Yes. Before we get away from this, the backdrop here is just lovely. Of course, we see Kings Island in the backdrop, or at least some of the rides that ride high enough for us to see the top of. I think we see one of the roller coasters up there. It's been a long time since I've been to the park, Patrick, so you'll have to tell me what rides, or if you know.
I don't know what roller coaster that is there. But
and when he says there, by the way,
Jeff,
right of center.
I know what the Eiffel Tower is. I would never have ever gotten on any of the things we can see that drop you 100 feet or spin you in the air. That is not my kind of fun right there. But I was, I'm kind of the Eiffel Tower type guy at Kings Island. I'll go there and look around. That's about as high up as I'll get.
I gotcha. So Villarreal on for yet another inning of work, his second full inning. As he goes to work here in the 7th, and this one off the plate for ball 1. Brady Black, a strikeout and a pop-up, 0 for 2. Villarreal working quickly, and the fastball fouled back, and we even up.
But our esteemed man here, JT, he's like the king of Kings Island. Every
really?
time I open Twitter, JT's at Kings Island.
We're clearly in the wrong spot. 1-1. It's a high chopper to the shortstop. Rabin throws him out. So one away here in the visiting seventh, and we go back to the top of the lineup, and the man of the hour, perhaps, at least from an offensive standpoint, in Noah Wagster, who doubled in his last plate appearance. He plated the first run. He is 1 for 3 on the day. In talking with Tommy Begley, he talked about somewhat deceptive power as he takes for ball one. Deceptive power when you look at his frame, he's wiry, he's thin.
Yep.
You don't know where the power comes from, but it's almost like as we got a high fly ball into deep left field. Back towards the track is Sweeney, and he records the out. Well, we just saw evidence of that power.
The old announcer's curse there played, Jeff. But Tommy Begley said the other thing about Wagster was his work ethic and how the older kids almost kind of look up to Wagster in a way, even though he's younger than them. He just outworks all of them, and obviously is rewarded here with his talent and then being the top guy in the lineup. Well deserved.
Wiseman's the 2-out batter. He cuts and misses, 0-1. 1 for 3. He drove in the proverbial insurance run his last time up. He checks his swing. He went around for strike 2. On a pitch in the dirt, and Villarreal has him by the neck, 0-2. If you're wondering, and I know you are, who's coming up in the next frame, it'll be Sam Penix, Dylan Rick, and Drew Tower. We have an official stop. A loose ball from the bullpen had come out down the third baseline, just out of our view. By the way, I don't know if we ever talked about outfield dimensions, but 320 down the lines, left and right, 380 to straightaway center. A beauty ballpark here in Kings Mill. Here's the 0-2. Off the plate outside, the waste pitch misses, and Wiseman does not offer up 1-2. Want to thank Eric Taylor, who's the Kings athletic director, for his kind help in taking care of us today as the breaking ball misses. 2-2. Got a chance to talk to Eric today. Just say hello, if nothing else. And I'll tell you what, you know you're in a good spot when you say your name and you're from Chatterbox Sports and the mood lightens considerably. Downstairs. Oh, he got him. Right at the knees. And we've got 3 more outs in the season for Lakota East. We'll see what they can do in the bottom half of the 7th. Down 2-0 here on Chatterbox Live. One last guess for Lakota East. Down 2-0 here in Kings Mill this afternoon to Fairfield in this third round of the playoffs on Chatterbox Live. Aaron England back on for his 4th inning of work. And partner, I was mentioning here in the break that I was wondering if he was trying to pull a Pedro Martinez. Do you know my reference on that?
I do. I am a huge Red Sox fan. My family's from New England. My grandfather sat and watched all 162 Red Sox games every year from Vermont, and so I'm well aware of the Pedro reference, Jeff.
So in this case, Pedro had come in relief. I believe it was the closing game against the Indians back in 1999.
Yep.
It's far enough back where we now know that the Indians, as we know them, don't exist anymore. They're now the Guardians. That's a while back, though they just became the Guardians this year. And Pedro came into that ball game in the 4th inning and threw 6 innings of no-hit ball to close it out. Well, Aaron England is human. He's given up just one of the 2 base hits today. Or, no, I believe both have been credited to Campbell. I think he's given up, this is a 3-hitter that we're working on right now. Ground ball to first. Taking it to the bag himself is Rackett, 1 out. One pitch, 1 out here in the home 7th.
Number 18, the catcher, Dylan Wright.
So Dylan Rick, 0 for 2, a fly out, a strikeout as he steps in. At the knees, but a bit inside, so says Brian Kresch at home plate. It's 1-0. England picking up the pace a bit, and the pitch, fastball downstairs, 2-0. Rick to be followed by Tower, and should anybody get on, it'll be Max Vincent. It's in the air, foul and out of play, behind the first base dugout and back towards the trees. We had mentioned in Southwest 3, it's 1 versus 2. Centerville is the 2 seed in that Dayton side of the bracket against Butler, which is number 1. They're both top 16 teams in the state. The idea that one of those teams can't make the district final is unbelievable. There's a called strike. 2-2. A big-time deuce pitch comes up here for England. We'll see if he goes to the deuce. 2-2 the count. Here it comes, and it's a line shot back up the middle, base hit. And Rick is a base runner with 1 out. And the tying run comes to the plate.
That's batter number 15, the first baseman, Drew Tower.
Just the 5th base hit of the ball game for today's home team in Lakota East. Infield's now looking for 2. Partner, I don't think I've seen a third baseman cheat inside into the grass all day long on either side.
Nope, I haven't either.
Now, that speaks to the velocity in the game of the pitchers today. And a ground by the Wagster to second for 1, and we'll see. I think they're going to call the out, and the runner reaches safely, so 6-4. You can't assume the double play. And we've got 2 down.
Batter number 10, the designated hitter, Max Vincent.
So Towers at first. Max Vincent to the plate. A line out and a fly out. 0 for 2. And the last gasp of this season for Lakota East. Fairfield's looking to move on, and Aaron England has been a big part of it. Fastball rides high, ball 1. England, if you're just joining us, authored the 2-hit shutout last Thursday against St. X, 8 beating 9 in Fairfield over at Joe Nuxall Field. And now he's gone here the last 3+, and the fastball missing here, 2-0. It's Tower at first. Vincent's the tying run at the plate. 2-0. He brings it high, 3-0. What's clear just by the last practice swing, partner, is Max Vincent's looking for a cookie. We'll see if England takes something off of the pitch here and tries to get it plateward. And he does. It's a called strike. So Vincent tried to coax the walk. Brian Kresch at home plate said, nothing doing here. Come back to the plate, son. 3-1.
But I will give Brian Kresch credit because that's been a strike call all day long. It's been consistent.
3 balls, 1 strike to Max Vincent. Here it comes. That's a called strike, and we yet again go full. And a big pitch here. The pitch of the ball game right here. Pitch 110 for Fairfield. Here it comes. It's in the dirt. The tying run is aboard. The go-ahead run, the winning run, comes to the plate. So how do you like high drama here in Kings Mill this afternoon?
Told you the tension was ratcheting up there ever since Fairfield took the 2-0 lead. And you can just feel the anxiety at this place looking around at all the families.
So you see the conference call. Andrew Gunther's the pitching coach. He's out there instead of the head coach, Tommy Begley. So you feel like they're going to ride or die with England here. Let him complete the ball game. And I don't want to say this means that they would have a bullpen game on Thursday if they go to the district final, but that's what that appears to be, because effectively, if you're going to play on Thursday, weather permitting, that both Kayden Campbell and England are both ineligible for that game.
That's a good point.
To put a perspective on this, Aaron England has thrown 60 pitches in this ball game in relief. So you want to talk about a young man who has ratcheted up the adrenaline in a hurry, thrown shutout baseball, and kept his team in the lead, and the fastball rides high for ball one. Trent Dilley is at the plate. A pop-up, a strikeout, 0 for 2. And again, he represents the final gasp of breath here for the Thunderhawks. The check of second, the 1-0. Fastball rides high, 2-0. And I know you just came out to the mound a couple of pitches ago, but right now, if you're Reese Wayhoff, you're probably telling your pitcher, get the ball down. Two strike, two ball pitch. He got over with a strike, 2-1. England again the look of second. Here's the 2-1 once more. Off the plate. The breaking ball misses down and away. 3-1. As we had mentioned, the tying runs are on base. Dilley represents the winning run. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. And we once again go full. How's your heart doing?
Good. Are you good?
We're having fun in Kings Mill tonight. 3 balls, 2 strikes. The pitch of the ball game right here to Trent Dilley. England deals. It's in the air, off the left field side, down the left field line, and it's caught by Wagster. Fairfield advances to the district final, 2-0. Aaron England has been a master on the mound. 7 shutout innings on Thursday, 4 here this afternoon, 11 in a row, and he has pitched his team into the district final. What a finish.
Incredible, Jeff. And we saw it done by Fairfield today, offensively, defensively, and on the mound when they needed to perform. And you just see the emotion. One side jubilant, the other side just looks very beat down. This was a game we talked about. It would be really tough for one of these teams to have to lose, to have to exit at this round. And unfortunately, East came up on the short end of that today, but just such a well-played game, such a great baseball game. Doesn't matter who you're rooting for. You enjoy just watching such a great game today, and this is what high school sports are all about, and just incredible performance by Fairfield, who advances, survives, moves on.
So how about this? If in 2 days, in 2 games, on Thursday it was a 2-hit shutout by Aaron England, and then he completes the back end of a shutout started by Kayden Campbell. And we have another shutout for the Fairfield Indians, 2-0 today on a beauty here in Kings Mill. Aaron England allowed a hit in the last 4 frames to seal the win. Once he got the lead, it felt like he found a little second wind. He looked a little inefficient in the 4th. And then once he got the lead, it became something special, and he was able to cruise to the finish. Really outstanding here effort from a team pitching perspective today by Fairfield. Time now for our play of the game, powered by Headline Sportswear. Partner, what's your pick?
Well, Jeff, honestly, to me, maybe the last play of the game, just to see that celebration, to see that emotion from Fairfield, and that was pretty cool and special, after their big win. But to me, if you had to pick a play during the game, it's probably that RBI double from Noah Wagster on the first pitch of his at-bat in the third at-bat of the game for him that would probably seal the deal for me. That eventually scored Ashton McCann. That was the game's first run after McCann got on base with a single. That was that drive out toward left center field that nobody could really get to or chase down for East. So to me, that's probably your play of the game for Noah Wagster, the RBI double that he hit.
And that's our play of the game, powered by Headline Sportswear. And you'll likely see that on Twitter here tonight. A doubleheader shutout, our first game that Reed Mouse had powered back up in Lakota, over at Liberty Township. 6-0 for Mason, a 2-0 win here for Fairfield as they improved to 17-11 with the win as they advance. Lakota East finishes their season at 17-10. 2 runs on 6 base hits, no errors, and 6 left on for victorious Fairfield. No runs on 3 base hits, 1 error, and 6 left on for losing Lakota East. The win goes to Aaron England in relief. 4 innings of shutout baseball. He gave up a hit, struck out 5. He's 4-2 on the season as they carry on. Evan Whitaker, the hard luck loser here this afternoon, pitched 4 2/3 innings, gave up 5 hits, 2 runs, and struck out 6. He falls and ends his season at a record of 2-5. Partner, your final thoughts on this one as we look ahead to districts.
What a game, Jeff. And this time of year just is awesome to me to see everyone just competing so hard, going at it so hard. The emotions associated with it is just another great game that we got to see between 2 awesome teams. Fairfield, you wonder about their pitching going into the district final. I guess for them, they're really banking on some rain, so they're hoping that the rain comes so that their best guys are ready to go after they use them pitch count-wise today. But I'm really excited to see kind of what happens with this district because obviously the opponent coming for Fairfield is going to be a Sycamore team or a LaSalle team that, of course, has a higher seed numerically, but at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter because you know that one of those 2 teams is just as capable of advancing to the regional as Fairfield is in Sycamore or LaSalle, who are getting hot at the right time. So I'm really, really excited to see what the next round brings. We hope for the best weather-wise here as we get to the end of the week.
And it will be an all-GMC matchup expected on Thursday.
Okay.
Jake Hertzman gets a complete game shutout, 2-hit shutout. The Aviators go to the district final for the first time since 2004. They beat LaSalle 2-0 here this afternoon. So matching 2-0 ball games, and again, an all-GMC final coming up, expected on Thursday. We're hoping for a good weather pattern in the late afternoon, but right now, I'm going to say it feels a little doubtful, and we may have to think about Friday or later.
You're the weather guy around here. You've got the AMS certification, so I trust you.
Partner, it was a fun one today. I hope we get to do this again. And in fact, if nothing else, we'll look ahead to the districts, and we'll get to see Fairfield again, hopefully on Thursday and maybe a day later.
Sounds good to me. Awesome job, Jeff. Appreciate it.
Again, the final here in this one here this afternoon, 2-0. Fairfield moves on. They improve to 17-11. Lakota East falls to 17-10. They end their season. The win to Aaron England, his second win in 5 days, 4-2. Evan Whitaker falls to a record and ends the season at 2-5. Thanks go out to our producer, JT the Shutout, Justin Thomas. For my main man, Patrick Geshin, and for Reed Mouse up north, I'm Geoff Kim. Good night from Fairfield.